Hey guys, thanks for joining in today. I'll be doing an install on a VIOFO dash cam for my 2021 Toyota 4Runner TRD Off-Road Premium. A couple things about the camera is that I did get it on Black Friday. It was about $50 cheaper, so I got it for $200 out the door. I did have to buy a Hardwire kit. Some of the things on the dash cam that I wanted is I wanted a front and a rear view camera. I wanted at least a 4K at a 30 frame per second setting, and I also wanted to make sure, again, I had the Hardwire kit. I want the vehicle to always be recording and have a sensor, and anytime I'm parked and somebody's around, it will pick it up if they are if it causes any vibration around the vehicle. So those are the important factors for me. And you know, I was between the black view, a Rexing, and this camera. You know, again, since it was on Black Friday, I thought that it would be a great deal. I would give it a shot and, you know, show you guys what my thoughts are. So a few things with this camera kit. You want to make sure that the GPS module is included. I did put a micro SD card in here. They want you to plug everything in, test everything out before you actually do the install, so that you don't tape anything down, and you check if there's any type of manufacturer defects to the product. But you do want to run through those checklists and make sure that everything is working before you do the install. In regards to the cable, there are two cables that are included. It is labeled, so this one is a connection between the rear camera and the front camera. So they technically want you to run this from your headliner to the rear tail of your vehicle. So that's going to take me some time, but I do have the panel area already popped off, so it should be a fairly easy install for me, but it will take time to make it clean. And the other wire that is included is from the actual front camera to the cigarette socket. So this is the wire right here, and this one will pretty much be ran through the top liner, through the side, and I'm gonna run it through the little grooves right here underneath, and eventually to a constant power. So that's how I'm gonna be doing my install. So once you get your micro SD card in there, it's gonna ask you if you want to format it. I went ahead and formatted everything so that it's clear. I went ahead and plugged everything into the cigarette lighter to test out the positioning. A lot of Toyota 4Runner owners they choose to put the camera down here right underneath the mirror. I actually don't like that position. I think it's taking too much of the windshield. I think that I'm gonna be putting it up here as soon as it clears that front area. I think that's going to be a good positioning for me, so that I can hide the wires on top of the headliner, and pretty much run it cleanly. But that's where I'm going to end up choosing my location. I think it's the least, it blocks the least view for me while I'm driving, so I'm going to go ahead and choose that location. So I'm really not a fan of these wires, USB wires that are sticking out. There is another top power section up here where I can plug it into, but that causes the camera to sink even lower, and I don't want that. So I'm gonna keep the side USB plugs and just tuck it underneath. So the next step is, before you actually mount the camera on, you want to clean your windshield to make sure it's spot free, and you want to add one of these electrostatic stickers on there. This will make sure that once this is on, you're able to easily remove the camera without leaving a bunch of adhesive on there. So I think this is pretty cool. Keeps your install clean, and if you decide to remove your camera, you're also good to go. Hope you guys can see it, but this is the electrostatic piece that's on there, and now I'm ready to mount the camera. When you're ready to mount, go ahead and rip off the backing of the 3M tape. Make sure your camera is powered on so that you can see the positioning while you guys are aligning. think I would be satisfied with that area. So the next step is, once you have the camera in positioning, I'm gonna go ahead and remove these panels from the pillar area. And it does include a nice car trim piece, so go ahead and pop it off. And it's gonna be a 10mm bolt. To do a clean install, I'm gonna remove this, and I'm gonna run the wire up here and then through the lining underneath here, and then just cut across to the power right there. So I've seen different videos on installs. A lot of people really take a lot of parts off. I try to make things as easy as possible, and I'm lazy to remove all the trim. So as long as it looks clean to me, that's what I'm gonna be going with. So once you've had the handle removed, you could see the little airbag underneath here. Again, I don't really remove it. I'm just gonna go ahead and tuck the wires underneath here, through here, and then down under. So these rubber pieces, they just pry right off. So I've got the wire tucked in here, ran through here. I'm just gonna follow this down, and it's clean. You don't have to remove so much stuff. You just tuck it underneath. Okay, so that's the current wire. Currently ran underneath, and it just pops out right here. So to make it even cleaner, I'll probably pop this out and run it underneath here, and it'll just extend right to the 12-volt cigarette lighter. But now that I have the wire ran here to the front, I'm gonna go ahead and attempt to run the rear wire that connects from here all the way to the rear camera. Now the rear camera is gonna take me some time because I do need to make a mount to attach it to, but I will run the wire first so that I have that set up while I have the headliner accessible. So I did it the same way. I put the cable for the rear camera attachment, ran it through the top headliner, out through the same way, and I'm gonna run it through the side to the rear of the vehicle. Now once you run the wire through this pillar area, go ahead and put the handle back on, 12mm, and bolt down so you're done with this area. So I'm all about making the install as easy as possible. I took out these rubber liners and I'm running the wire through here. And when I get to the rear section, I also remove the liner. And I'm just gonna go ahead and feed the wire through here so I don't have to remove anything. Feed the wire through. So now when the whole set of wires are ran, you can install back the rubber lining. Make sure there's no pinch to their wires. And it's smooth all the way through. So I chose to run the wire through this plastic liner, up through here. And I'm just gonna follow this to the center. I'm gonna use this factory hole here to make a mount so that I can see through the rear. But so far, that's how you run the wire. There's plenty of extra line. So currently where I'm at, I have the rear camera plug set up and ran through my passenger side. And I pretty much have it hooked up to the front camera, like so. And temporarily, I went ahead and just ran the wire through to the cigarette lighter. I do have the Hardwire kit that I'll be installing along with the rear camera once I figure out a back bracket to it. I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys. But so far, the installation's been pretty quick. I think I've done it in less than 30 minutes. Again, I didn't rip off everything to install it. I think it's still a very, very clean job. You can't even tell that I messed with any of the panels.